This is Summoner's Rift, this is a fountain, and those 5 guys are about to enter a game that will be very interesting. Some might say shocking, but we will get to that eventually. First things first, everyone's walking out, waiting patiently for the game to start, you know, standard stuff. But then, Brand strategically took a tower shot, showing he's not afraid to 2v1 some bitches, then gets entangled in some goo. But surprise, there was a gift waiting to be unwrapped in the form of an Amumu. Surprisingly, Yasuo dies first. Are we surprised? I don't think we are. The ironic part is Brand burning alive, which you don't see that often. You know, it's the small things in life. I love it. There's a lesson here somewhere, I think. Sek then revives, flashes to safety, jumps to safety, another BM tower shot. Speaking of transitions that make no sense, we are now at the southern hemisphere of Summoner's Rift, where an Ashe is seemingly unfazed by getting punched in the face a bunch, or maybe just another 200 IQ bait. Be that as it may, MF rushing to aid, don't touch her support ever. Zeri kinda likes that idea of defending the AD carry, rushes in to cleanse nothing, and flash away just to die. A bot lane classic, I think. Misfortune then forgot to take her pre-game ADHD medication, I think, as she flashes forward to throw a Q into my shield. Very strong move, definitely sending a message here. Or maybe it was just another bait? Who knows? Well, I know, so I will tell you, I guess. That's why we're here anyways. So, you see that little sack here channeling, yeah? Good idea, you know, they don't have flashes and stuff. But he flops it. Meanwhile, I'm sadly being zoned, which makes this a bit more awkward. Meanwhile, Sack pulling off the now kiss move. But, you know, being alone in a 1v2 sadly was a bait after all. Thank God we had a real gamer up on top lane. How does one spot a real gamer? Well, it's pretty simple. They usually do some flashy play to get a kill, you know, like something like a flash engage on Riven. I mean, they pick Riven to begin with to be real gamers. That they get ulted under tower then is sad, must be scripting. Meanwhile, on bot lane, we are peacefully pushing out the lane when suddenly Sad Guy, who is quite out of character though, because he brought 2 friends, which I find very unfair to be honest. Zeri dies pretty much instantly without much counterplay, which Ashe agrees was very unfair, so she evens it out again. Very sportsmanlike of her. That brings us back to a channeling Sack who completely misses everything. The 2 boys hit their knockups though, so well, they got that going. And in the end, Brand extinguished. Enough of that casual League of Legends. Let's go back to the real gamer, who is already a bit low to begin with. Now drops even lower. Orders another keg of wine though, which, you know, you should drink responsibly. It's very important. Suddenly things are heating up though. Stun misses. Now only a flash play could, well, get Gragas a kill. That was actually well done. Holy shit, never underestimate your bartender. Meanwhile, at the mortal human beings, we see a, questionable engage to say the least. But fear not, jungle Sack approaching. And given the current track record, we might see some channeling, some knockups, and maybe some missed skill shots. Okay, we're 2 for 3 now, but there it is, the flash knockup combination. Zeri sadly gets zoned by a cheeky MF ult, which pretty much means the only damage source is not part of this fight. In a desperate attempt of getting anything done, I die. Sack missing another skill shot. What's new? You know, sometimes you lose, sometimes the others win. In this case, we are losing and the others are winning because Zeri also dies, and we somehow managed to make a 2v3 gank an absolute disaster, and the fact that a Yasuo has to save the day might uninstall actually. After this horrible sequence, only a real gamer can save us. The only issue, Gragas is now also a bouncer. See, that was funny because at the bar there's not only bartenders, there's also bouncers. And Gragas bounced into Riven's 3rd Q, you know. But, well, anyways, long story short, Riven fucking dies again. Speaking of dying, the Sad Guy shows up again. I eat all the ults, but somehow Zeri dies first. But they're going for the fair play route again, which I appreciate that a lot, given how the game goes so far. Now that we have established that pretty much every lane is a disaster, only mid can save us now, and the fact that channeling Sack is actually hitting a knockup, and the boys getting a clean kill because of it. Who could ever stop us now? Well, the answer is pretty simple actually. It is just the combined force of feeding every single enemy there is and pretty much taking every single ult to the face of an AD carry that somehow seemed to have stopped her, at least. But maybe I'm looking at it all wrong. Maybe the isolated parts, they're not working well. But, you know, the 5 fingers forming a hand, you know, maybe the team fight will bring redemption to us. Our gamer taking initiative sure tries, somehow ends up in a 1v5 though, which, yeah, well, pretty much the opposite of what I just talked about. They then have a beautiful wombo combo which shreds Zeri and Sek, which is not quite the best trade for killing just a brand. Then Yasuo tries to save the situation. You know, he's kind of the opposable thumb in the scenario. Didn't work. I listened to my navigational system, take a sharp right and die to a bouncer. So yeah, turns out not only are we not a hand, all the individual fingers are also broken. Oh, and then they took Baron. We traded for a vision plan, I guess. And this here is pretty much the visual representation of when we try to take an objective. Absolutely lovely. So here we were, a Baron siege right outside the front door. But hold up. We suddenly have damage? I can't believe it myself. And out of nowhere, absolute pandemonium. Chaos breaking out. Technically we call this a team fight, but yeah, there's nothing coordinated going on here. Zac flying in for double flashes of the enemy team. Seems like he finally warmed up. Zeri finishing what she started. Beautiful double snipe. Ashe and MF dead instantly. We sadly lost the gamer and the opposable thumb in the process. Also the bounce is still a big problem, but not when he's a small sea creature. And all in all, the first W of this game. Turns out we weren't broken fingers. We were a hand yet to grow. Okay, enough with the grasping organ metaphors. More importantly, we even started taking objectives. It's almost like at the flip of a switch. We swapped every single player in this team. Okay, wait, hold up. Almost every player of this team. Well, some habits die hard, or some die hard as a habit. Be that as it may, enemy team tries the whole pushing our base again. They choose to target me for some reason, which allows Zeri for another beautiful snipe. I do survive easily. Ashe has to run away, and after a little bit of time, Amumu eventually dies. Sad guy down, gifting us a kill. At this point, we simply could do no wrong anymore. And it also didn't really matter what we did. It mattered what Zeri did. Looks like every single death of hers fully calculated. To prove what I'm saying, just look at Riven hitting a flash Q. I mean, insane gameplay. If that isn't a gamer, I don't know what is. But now we're hot. Things are working out and Zeri's not done. 2 bad guys hiding under tower, no match for Zeri. She's unleashed. And that in combination with the team following up, impossible to deal with. See, all this time you thought that was just a sad story, you know, just another solo queue experience, a loss that was pretty much predetermined from the beginning on, but no. Every Zeri death was well calculated to getting her closer to that power spike. Every Zac missing everything move was just baiting the opponent into a false sense of security. And every time the gamer flash engaged nothing would... Actually, no, fuck Riven, she was constantly toxic and flaming the jungler mostly, for all that I know. She sucks. Now it was our time to push with Baron though, which surprisingly happens at the same position pretty much on the map. But Ashe was stepping a small step too far forward, or 15, instantly gets obliterated by our beautiful synergy of Zac, E and Yasuo ult, and well, the rest of the team fight. Pretty straightforward, front to back. Everything dies. We were still reasonably behind though, which means we actually had to take another Baron to end it, which leads us to this fight. Ashe, doing what she does best, gets clipped by Zeri instantly. She manages to flash the Zac engage though, which makes our front line kinda stuck in the middle, and MF gets a absolute banger of an ult off. She's essentially shredding 4 people at once, which yeah, kinda kills everyone. Wait, hold up. I thought that was a comeback story. That's not what I wanted. What is this? Well, this goes to show that even when you're super far... Oh, wait, hold up! Just when all hope was lost, Zeri back at it again. Flash ulti kills everyone. Can only barely be stopped by the sad guy. What a move. And we live to see another day. Enemy team technically has Baron, but well, keep in mind it's just the Mumu who has it. But we have Zeri, who is stepping up once more. I wasn't even sure if you could step further than you could have already stepped up, but yeah, I think you get the point. And here we are, back at our inhib, where pretty much half of this game happens. I feel like I've seen this before, and I've seen that too. Zeri double snipe into sack engage. This time no flash is ready on the enemy team. Both Ashe and MF get caught instantly. And at this very point, the team fight gets a bit hectic, so I'll show you all the parts one after another. First is a Mumu completely lost in, well, 4 people. Eventually dies, obviously. That brings us to part 2. Yasuo happens to find a mid-wave, which you can dash through. Following MF, Flash Tornado goes a bit wide, but he has effectively zoned her out of the fight. Which leads us to the most important part for us. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, if he was mad or something, but yeah, while all of that was going on, this guy was top. Farming. He eventually did join the fight through TP, just to then faceplant the wall, be kind of stuck out in Nirvana with Brand, waddle back into mid lane awkwardly, and yeah, kind of just watch everything else unfold. Yasuo does catch up eventually, which forces Gragas to do stuff. Worthy effort for sure, but yeah, well, eventually. First tower falls. Zeri getting another beautiful snipe off. Sack engage onto them. Yasuo with another double ulti. We actually started getting quite good at those, not gonna lie. Gragas eventually dies, and the game is over. Easy.